Good day to all, and thank you for tuning in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast. For all of our new listeners and viewers who are tuning in for the very first time, I'm Pastor Pope. Thank you for allowing us to come into your viewing environment. We are here with you every Monday through Friday from 12:30 p.m. until 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, broadcasting live from the FijiWater.com sponsored studio, where you can discuss careers, finances, entrepreneurship. You can discuss marriage, divorce, raising children, blending families. You can discuss dating and relationships. Whatever's in your heart, whatever's on your mind, God is concerned about that which concerns you. And that is the reason that we are here with you in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast, which is brought to you daily by Fiji Water, Earth's finest water. You may already know that Fiji water comes from Fiji. However, did you know that it is created by nature? It is untouched by man. It starts as a tropical rainfall which slowly filters through layers of volcanic rock, where the water collects in a natural, sustainable artesian aquifer, where it is bottled right at the source, free from human contact until you unscrew the blue cap. Fiji Water, Earth's finest water, will be delivered right to your front door when you subscribe for delivery, and you will save money at FijiWater.com. This is not just ordinary water. This is Earth's finest water at FijiWater.com. And for those of you who continue giving on the Give segment of our app at New Life-Delaware, and those of you that have made a weekly or monthly commitment to support the broadcast by giving on the contribution pages of our websites at NewLifeMinistriesInternational.com or NewLifeInternationalCDC.com. And those of you that have made a commitment to support the broadcast by giving on both the link or the QR code that are on YouTube, Facebook, and YouTube, we thank you all for your continued commitment and for your support as we fulfill our commitment to God to be here for you in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast, where you have a place to go to hear from God and receive daily divine direction. I want to say to all of our listeners and viewers, we are Facebook Live, we are YouTube Live at Daily Divine Direction, and we want you to continue encouraging your family, friends, co-workers, and colleagues to tune in every day. We are here every day, Monday through Friday, from 12:30 p.m. until 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And every Sunday for the Sunday sermon at New Life Christian Center, 400 Hillcrest Avenue, Wilmington, Delaware. There is 19809. There is parking on Hillcrest. We're the brown brick building located right on the corner of Hillcrest and Marsh Road. We want you to come worship with us and experience a better quality of life. Service begins at 10 a.m. And if you're not in our area to be with us in person, you can tune in every Sunday for the Sunday sermon on YouTube, on our YouTube channel at New Life Christian Center -Pastor Pope. We want to make certain that everyone is whole in their body, mind, and spirit. So that's why we are here Monday through Friday from 12:30 p.m. until 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and then again for the Sunday sermon on our YouTube channel. Both YouTube channels, Daily Divine Direction during the week, New Life Christian Center -Pastor Pope on Sundays, and we want you to stay connected with us on our 24-hour internet radio station, WKAP Faith Empowerment Radio. You can reach us at WKAPfaith.com. We play music 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Music that will encourage you, empower you, and inspire you to become the best version of ourselves that we can possibly become. And so I want to get into the broadcast with the communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers who indicated you are having difficulty finding a man. You do not have difficulty getting a date. However, nothing ever comes of your dates. There's never any successful outcome to your dates. So let me first of all say this to you. It's not you. You're dating, you're involved, but it's not you. You're dating boys, not men. And let me tell you what that means. You've dated, you've even had boyfriends. There's a difference between having a man and having a boyfriend. The implication of the title boyfriend tells us the problem. You're dating a boy who has become a friend that you develop a friendship with, and then it leads to a relationship. That's why it hasn't been successful. The primary reason that you're not having success is that you say you're having difficulty finding a man. It's not your job to find a man. Now, I know I'm going to get some communications from some of our listeners and viewers about what I'm about to say, but it's okay. I love hearing from all of you, so you can reach me at newlifepastor@comcast.net, or you can call or text on the T-Mobile call or text line at 267-992-1424, and you can leave your message. I love hearing from all of you, so it's okay that I sometimes hear from you saying, well, you don't agree with this, or you're concerned about that, or you don't understand why it has to be that way. I'm not giving you anything that doesn't come from God. And what I mean by that is this. The Bible says, he who finds a wife. What's interesting about that is, in this context, it is not talking about mankind. You know, when we say man, and we're speaking of mankind in general, the Bible clearly says he who finds a wife finds favor of the Lord, finds a good thing and finds favor and obtains favor of the Lord. Let me break that down a little further. He that finds a wife, that means it's the man's job to find you, to search you out, the woman that God has prepared for him. So it's the man's job to find you. He who finds a wife, the man searching for a wife, when he finds a wife, he finds a good thing. Now let's talk about what a good thing is. You know, in old days we would say it's a good thing. Well, a good thing is someone who's prepared herself to be a wife, not someone who's prepared herself to be a girlfriend. A good thing is someone who's prepared herself to be the woman that God has assigned to be the helpmate of the man. So he who finds a wife finds a good thing. And then when he finds a good thing, he now obtains favor of the Lord, which will bless his life, the life of his wife, and the life of his family. So he who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor of the Lord. The reason your dates have not been coming to a successful relationship, ending with them, or I should say beginning a successful relationship, is that you're searching and you're seeing men that you like, that you identify as a man because they present themselves in a way that a man would present himself in his physical appearance. But he's not a man who's presenting himself in a spiritual appearance. So you look at, and this will take me to another communication later, but you look at, is he having success in his career? Is he living well? Is he someone you're attracted to? And you're saying, that's a man I can date. That is a boy who will have a relationship with you. He'll start a friendship and then go into a relationship. You're having difficulty finding the right man. And the reason is because you shouldn't be looking for him in the first place. See, our society has really got us messed up. Our society tells us, you know, I've used this analogy in our church previously. There's an old adage, there was a song that said, it's your thing, do what you want to do, I can't tell you who to sock it to. In other words, it's you do whatever you want to do, it's your thing, you can do it your way, do what you want to do, And you can do and date anyone you want to do and date. Date and do. I can't tell you who to sock it to. In other words, we're free to do, back in my era, it was free love, it was free everything, but it really wasn't free. It was enslaving us. It was placing us into a place of captivity. We've got to do things differently now. We've got to understand how important it is. You can't just date everyone, and you can't just be involved with everyone. And I've often said this to men and women. Every person we lie down with, there's an exchange of spirits. And you don't know where those spirits are going to take you once you lay down with someone. So you've got to really know what you're doing, and is this the person that God has appointed for your life? So, what does that really mean? And I've shared this. I'll expound on it a little further today. So, I've encouraged everyone, if you're going to date someone, man or woman, you should go to church first. And I know everyone says, Pastor Pope, that's easy for you to say, you're a pastor. So no, this is real. You shouldn't be going off to, take a trip. You shouldn't be going out for entertainment. You shouldn't be going out for sporting events. You shouldn't be going out to do anything until you both are clear on what your relationship is with the Lord. So I've said to everyone, a revelation from God, go to church. If you're a man and you are interested in a woman, take her to church. It's real easy to get distracted and get off. Take her to church. And listen, if you're interested in a woman, invite her to go to church with you and out to lunch. If she says, no, I'll go out with you, but I want you to take me out to a restaurant. And if she's not willing to follow the lead of going to church and out to lunch, you've been notified by God. She's not for you. If she tells you she'll go and then she doesn't go, or she goes 1 week, she doesn't go the next week, 3 weeks consecutively, and unless she has to work, and I'm gonna get to this, or unless the man has to work, and that's the only thing that disrupts you from going to church and out to lunch 3 times. But you have to do that 3 times consecutively. So even if you miss a week, you still have to, because of work, you still have to go 2 more times. And then you're going to have conversations about your 7-year plan, your goals in life. You're going to talk about those things over lunch. But you'll know what they're being fed, because if you're sitting in church 3 times, you're going to get a clear understanding of what the pastor is teaching. You're going to get a clear understanding what he's feeding the congregation. You're going to get a clear understanding of where he's guiding you to go in the Lord. The rest we have to do for ourselves, which means we have to work, as the Bible says, we have to work out our salvation. Okay. You go out to lunch after going to church together. Then you get an opportunity to see where you are both spiritually and mentally. You get a real clear understanding of what you're both trying to accomplish. It's easy, it's non-threatening, it doesn't require a lot to figure this out. We have wasted, so many of us have wasted so much money over the years trying to date someone and impress them, and not realizing that in the end, they were not going to be the person for you. That's not what we're here to do. We're here to experience the fullness of God and then maximize the fullness of God. So that's what we're all here for. You're not having difficulty finding a man. You're having difficulty being found. So you're going to have to position yourself. You be open. And then you're going to have to make certain that you're placing yourself in environments that are conducive for you to meet someone who you can walk together in agreement with. Someone you can be equally yoked with. Someone who's willing to take the steps. I know, people will tell you, you got to wait 90 days and date, 10 dates and all these things that society comes up with. I'm here to tell you, I'm here to give you a revelation. You will know literally know in 30 days. You'll know, and sometimes there's 31 days in a month, unless we're in a leap year, there's 28. You'll know by 3 Sundays in church and 3 lunches, and then you can go out on a date. You'll know by the end of that. You'll have a real clear picture, because you're going to get to see how they treat other people. First of all, you're going to get a chance, by doing what we said, you're going to see the people that they're around in church, first of all. Second of all, when they leave the church, you're at lunch or brunch together, you're going to have the opportunity to talk about your 7-year plan. You're going to have an opportunity to talk about goals. You're going to have an opportunity to get to know each other over lunch. Then you're going to do it again the second Sunday, and then that's going to give you the opportunity to talk about your 14-year plan. It's going to give you the opportunity to talk about, family. You're going to have the opportunity to really get to know one another. The third time, by then you'll have a clear picture of the next 21 years. You'll know all of those things if you just do things decently and in order. And in that, you'll get a little opportunity to see how he treats other people. But when he takes you out on that dinner date at the end on the 4th week, then you're going to have a real good, clear picture, because you'll see how he treats other people in public. What's his attitude? You're gonna learn that. You'll know everything you need to know about even entertaining or pursuing a relationship with that person. We've been doing this thing all wrong because society's been teaching us to do it all wrong. And we've allowed society to teach us the wrong way to do this. But we're going to get it right now. So stop searching and be found. Because there's someone God has prepared. You make certain you're prepared, but there's someone God has prepared to find you and make you their wife. This segment of the broadcast has been brought to you by T-Mobile, America's largest, fastest, and most reliable 5G provider at no extra charge. So if you are not currently a T-Mobile customer, you may call or text on the T-Mobile call or text line at 267-992-1424. We will move you into our queue so that you may become a T-Mobile customer and experience America's largest, fastest, and most reliable 5G provider at no extra charge. Taxes and fees are included in your bill, and if you auto pay by attaching a credit card to your account, you will receive a discount on your monthly bill at T-Mobile, America's largest, fastest, and most reliable 5G provider at no extra charge. I'm going to address another communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers who indicated that your friends are all successful people. The problem is that you feel like you all don't even realize that you're no longer part of the middle class, because all of you have really begun to maximize your success. You're not middle class any longer. You have really risen to another level. The problem, you say, is that everyone's still complaining about money. That they don't really understand that they are in a very small percentage of the population. You said the complaining seems like everyone's ungrateful. Everyone's not grateful because all they do is complain about money. Yet, all of you have money. And so what I'm going to say to you want to know, how do you get them to look at things differently? And what I'm going to tell you is, the problem is that they still have a poverty mindset. It's for those of us who were not born with a silver spoon in our mouth. We weren't born into wealth. We become first generation of wealth. Many of us still have the poverty mindset of, I don't have any money, I can't do this because I don't have any money. But the reality is, you do have money to do what you want to do. It's just about how people choose to allocate their capital. So I guess the conversation, obviously in order to address this, you have to communicate. In the conversations you're all having, you're reminding everyone to be thankful for where they are. You're reminding everyone, they're in a position to do things that they would like to do, but they always say to you, well, I can't do that because I don't have money to do that. That's not, you have to remind them that they do have the money. It's just how they choose to allocate their capital. And then you just have to remind them that carrying a poverty mindset is not going. There's a spiritual analogy for this, and that is that they keep the brass over their head. In other words, they keep allowing themselves to soar because they've put a limit over their head. And I'm not talking about, we all should set some boundaries. It's something that we should say, okay, we're particularly for married couples, I'm not going to buy anything unless of any large purchase. Let me rephrase that, because there's obviously things you're going to buy, but you're not going to buy a large purchase without having a conversation about it. It's at least, people get carried away when they have the opportunity. Once again, it's about allocating capital. So, if a husband wants to buy his wife a car, the practical thing is to take her to a dealership. If she's had a conversation about a particular vehicle she likes, take her to the dealership, let her drive the car so she can find out if she feels comfortable in it. And, you go to dealerships, most high-end dealerships, they're going to give you the keys. They're going to say, take it for a drive. The two of you go out for a drive, maybe grab a bite to eat, and then come back. Because it gives you the opportunity to get familiar with the car. They don't get involved in your conversations, and you get a chance to see if she feels comfortable in the car. But you don't want to go and make a purchase and people have done this because we've all been taught by society to do things. It's fun, it's exciting, but it's not prudent. It's not practical, because what if you buy a car, and wives have done this one too, because society has said it's okay to do that, go and buy a car and then bring it home. And then they have buyer's remorse. So there's a lot of moving parts to this. But we do things with a practical mindset. You have a conversation about it, then you make decisions on what you're going to do, when you're going to go and look at it, and then you purchase. The point I'm trying to make is, you've got to make certain that everything you do decently and in order. But at the same time, you can't live in a poverty mindset, limiting your ability to create even more success or more wealth because you constantly live in a poverty state of mind. Because believe it or not, it will limit your blessings. If you live in a poverty state of mind, it will limit your blessings because it will not allow you to exceed beyond the boundaries that you've created for yourself. Self-imposed boundaries of, I don't have it, so because I don't have it, I'm not going to allow myself to enjoy life when you really do have it, particularly when you really do have it. It's because of, you know, the upbringing that many of us have had, and that is, if I don't use it or allocate it for something that is going to impact my life today in a positive way, then I'll have it for much later. Now, one of the things that I tell everyone, it's important to save and invest. You save to invest. You don't just save to hoard money. Okay, you've got to put your money to work. Now, you know, obviously you have to be liquid on some aspects so that if an emergency arises, you can deal with the emergency, or if there's something that needs to be done, you can do that. But primarily, we save to invest. That's the purpose of saving. Now, having said that, when you get to a place where you are successful, you're maximizing your success, you know you have the resources to do things, but you keep telling yourself you don't have them. That's a poverty mindset. Telling yourself, I don't want to allocate my capital for something is a different mindset. That is, I get to choose. You know, one of the things society taught us also is about discretionary income. Well, you know, people used to use the term disposable income. I don't like using that term, because if you use the term disposable income, that means you're going to dispose of whatever income you have that you don't need to cover the expenses of the expenses of your life. I once upon a time in investment banking, we also always used the term discretionary. So you get to decide and determine where you're going to allocate your capital. And then I changed to the mindset of deploying capital, because I understand that every dollar has to be on a mission. Whether it's on a mission to create more, or whether it's on a mission for charitable purposes, or whether it's on a mission to enhance the quality of life for your children. Every dollar has to have a purpose, has to be on a mission. But you get to determine that. But in order to determine that, to get to that place, you have to eliminate the poverty mindset. And because you and your friends are no longer part of the middle class, but you're in that small percentage of the population who now can deploy your capital much more effectively and efficiently, they're going to have to eliminate the poverty mindset. So you might have to remind them that they are living with the poverty mindset, that you've got to change. Because if you are holding on to it just because you don't think that you think it's going to disrupt the quality of your life, then that's when you've been blessed with so much, that truly is a poverty mindset. So we have to come. We don't waste money, but we have to come to terms with the fact that money is a tool, and it is capital to be deployed for purposes, not for waste, but for purposes that could include charitable and philanthropic also. I mean, it should include that. But it also, you have to live life and live a great quality of life, because then you become an example to others also. So everything means something. And you're obviously in the group to be a reminder to them all that none of you came into this world with a silver spoon in your mouth. You've worked to get to where you are today, and where you are today is where the glory of God exists. And to God be the glory. 3D, today's Daily Divine Direction broadcast has been brought to you by Fiji Water. A taste of paradise will be delivered right to your front door when you subscribe for delivery, and you'll save money at FijiWater.com. This is not just ordinary water. Once again, this is Earth's finest water at FijiWater.com. May God bless you today. May God keep his face turned towards you, and may God give you peace that surpasses all understanding. Have a great day today. I look forward to being in your viewing environment tomorrow. Remember, we are Facebook Live, we are YouTube Live at Daily Divine Direction, and we want you to stay connected with us throughout the week, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, on our internet radio station, Faith Empowerment